the Herdline News.
Well, two of those young quarterbacks played each other yesterday. The 49ers were down 16 points early to the Cardinals, but Garoppolo was able to bring the team back for a win. He threw for 424 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he did have 2 interceptions. 49ers defense came up big, forcing a 3-and-out after one of those interceptions and set up Garoppolo's game-winning touchdown drive. That was the biggest deficit erased by the 49ers in a win since the NFC title game in the 2012 season.
Yeah.
That was a game we were really looking forward to watch, and I felt like it delivered.
And I also think, Garoppolo had some mistakes early, but in the end of the game, never forget this. Tom Brady had a pick 6 against Atlanta. I don't really care about, the ball.
Oh, we will never forget. We will never forget the first half of how that game went.
I get to the point when at Garoppolo at the end of the game, I was like, okay, this is why I'm paying Garoppolo.
Right.
And he drove right down the field, and he made 2 or 3 big throws, and it's like, I got a short memory. If you make a lousy red zone throw early, Russell Wilson remember Russell Wilson on Thursday? Was it Thursday night? With the San Francisco game. He made a terrible throw, but at the end of the game, he made the drive.
Right.
I have a short memory on interceptions in the NFL.
I mean, I think we kind of overreact to bad games, good games. You're not going to have an all-time game every single week, and it's not how you start the game. It's how you finish it, and that's the difference between young quarterbacks who aren't getting the development and don't have the support and don't have the leadership ability to overcome those mistakes. You have to, like you said, have a short-term memory when it comes to that stuff. Don't let it rattle you. Don't let it wave your decision-making to the negative. And how they finish the game is what separates non-playoff teams from playoff teams. It's going to come down to clutch moments. You're going to have hard games where you have to overcome that. That's why that Super Bowl with Tom Brady is so impressive. I mean, they could have given up in that spot, but it delivered while this next game did not deliver. The highly anticipated matchup between Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson turned out to be very one-sided.
CBS switched off that game. CBS, we give up.
Well, I mean, the Texans gave up. Ravens absolutely dominated the Texans 41-7. Lamar Jackson continued his MVP campaign, 308 total yards, 4 touchdown passes, and his teammate Mark Ingram was quick to sing Lamar's praises after the game.
Now I would just like to introduce y'all to the man, the myth, the legend, the MVP frontrunner. If anybody else got to say something different about that, then come see me. I'm right here in B-More outside the bank. If you got an issue with that, come see me. I'm about that. Big trust. Woo, woo. Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
What was that?
From now on, I would only like to be introduced in that fashion, Colin. We have to change that up, Joy, with the news to that. I mean, look, they're having fun. And how could you not? The way that they're playing is amazing. They're healthy. Lamar Jackson is on the MVP run. I mean, of course they're going to be having fun like this. That's what winning does.
This reminds me of the Cam Carolina team where they started the season. You're kind of trying to figure them out, and they have this unique quarterback, a veteran head coach. The defense got better during the season, and all of a sudden you look up, and we loved Seattle that year, and we loved everybody else and all these coastal teams, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, Carolina's just rolling over people. And I feel Baltimore's got that kind of emotion. So you got a unique quarterback. You got a veteran head coach. There's a lot of other higher profile teams around him like Mahomes and Brady. And I'm watching them and I'm like, never forget what that Carolina team did. They got to the playoffs. And before the Super Bowl, they steamrolled a couple teams.
Well, their defense obviously was incredible yesterday, too. I mean, you just had the Houston's offense completely confused all day. So as incredible as Lamar Jackson was, Baltimore's defense deserves a lot of credit. And Lamar's the first Ravens player to have 4 touchdown passes in 2 games in a season. Obviously had 5 week 1 against the Dolphins. Texans didn't score in the first half for the first time this season. So they just got demolished yesterday.
They're demolishing Seattle, New England, and Houston. They've really taken them completely out of their games early.
That was a game that we expected to be I certainly expected to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I certainly thought that the Texans would cover, and I mean it was just a blowout. But that's just what Lamar's doing this season. Finally, Alabama was up 35-7 with 3 minutes left in the first half when Tua Tagovailoa was tackled from behind and dislocated his hip. He has had his surgery, as an update from Schefter.
Oh, he has.
Tua had his surgery, and his prognosis is, quote, excellent.
Yep, there you go.
Alabama also put out a statement saying that the surgery was successful. Obviously, he'll miss the rest of the season. This was his second surgery this season after having his right ankle repaired in October. He's obviously expected to make a full recovery. Now, Saban said that Tua was in the game to practice a 2-minute drill, and that would have been Tua's last drive. I don't really want to get too crazy about whether he should have been in the game or not.
I think Tua tried to talk himself into coming in.
Injuries happen at any moment.
Yeah.
I do think that this is significant, though. Obviously, Tua's in that range of the Baker, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray size when it comes to quarterbacks. So I don't really think that matters anymore. Clearly, we don't have to have this idea prototypical quarterback stays in the pocket, 6'4", 230 pounds. That doesn't matter, because clearly we're having success with smaller quarterbacks in the league now. So that prototype has completely changed. But this is a lot of injuries in the last 2 seasons for Tua. And no matter how talented he is or what his prospect is, and I mean, obviously, God bless him. We hope he has a full recovery, and I'm sure he will. This is a lot of injuries. He had his right ankle in the SEC championship game last year, right ankle this year against Tennessee, and now his hip is dislocated. It's something to think about. I don't disagree with you that him falling won't be the worst thing for him. But the best ability is availability.
Yeah, it's something. It's a real thing. I think anybody that comes out and says, I'm going to pass on him because of his injuries, that is fine. That is fine. But if you're desperate at quarterback and he's on the board, I want to see the GM that goes, no, I'll take a linebacker from Ole Miss.
No. I don't think you should pass up on another quarterback.
Let's say you brought him in and he's hurt by year 2. Okay. I mean, remember, there are organizations in this league that have given up 6 picks to get a quarterback, and those teams ended up being fine. You can give up picks. You can miss. The Seahawks missed on a running back at the number 1 pick a couple years ago. You can miss on quarterbacks.
No, and I'm okay with missing on quarterbacks, because the draft is a crapshoot anyway.
Yes.
So, whether you miss on the quarterback or the linebacker or whoever, if you need a quarterback and 2 is available, you should take him.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think he still will have a great career.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it worries me. It concerns me, this string of injuries.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line
He
News.
won 3 rings with the Patriots. He's a former Patriot linebacker, writes for The Athletic. Smart guy. We've had him on before. Matt Chatham stops by. We're going to New England next. Tom Brady was grumpy Brady. Matt talks about it next.